Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Tonight on the November 10th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Sarah Moore. Coming up, I'll tell you the truth about pesky parking tickets on campus.
Carolina is near the top in a national ranking that has nothing to do with athletics or academics.
In sports, the football team is rolling through the ACC and climbing the BCS, taking down another ranked opponent.
Weathercaster Corey Davis will tell you how to dress with this fall chill in the air.
All that and a flavorful fruitcake fantasy. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
No one likes getting a parking ticket. Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Bethany Tuggle.
And I'm Gervais Hagerty. Thanks for joining us. Well, have you ever wondered where the money goes when you pay a parking ticket? Sarah Moore joins us tonight with the answer.
Thanks, Gervais. Well, I've had a couple of parking tickets myself, but I never realized just how often people find these terrible little envelopes on their windshield.
Andrew Franklin has had nearly 40 parking tickets since 2006. This could have cost him as much as $2,000. He admits it was his own fault.
My sophomore year, I lived in the fraternity house, and I did not have a parking pass. So what I did was just hope to, I learned the hours that they came and tried my best to avoid, move my car at 9:30 a.m. was when I found out they're the most hardcore about giving out tickets.
Still, you'd be hard-pressed to find many students happy with the parking situation on campus. Department of Public Safety spokesman Randy Young says an average parking citation on campus is about $30, but they can go much higher.
Roughly, we see about $90,000 in assigned citations in a given month.
That comes out to almost $1 million a year, but UNC doesn't get to keep much of it. 2 school boards sued the state. The outcome of the case, UNC gets to keep only 20% of parking fines. The other 80% goes to the K-12 school systems. Although Franklin's parking citations were just a drop in the bucket, it was a lot for one person to pay.
My mom told me that if I got one more ticket, that she would take my car away. And about 6 or 7 tickets later, she was like, all right, I'm serious this time.
There are about 17,000 parking spots at UNC, but many of them are restricted and often left empty.
About only 3,900 on-campus parking permits are granted each year, which leaves a lot of students parking illegally at UNC.
So Sarah, what should students do when they get tickets?
Gervais, students should take their parking ticket down to the Department of Public Safety office and appeal it. The ticket won't necessarily get dropped, but it might at least get reduced. Trust me, college students don't want to be spending all of their money on parking tickets.
Sarah Moore starting us out tonight. Thanks, Sarah.
UNC's historic Girard Hall won't be open for a while after an early Saturday morning fire. The first floor sustained water and smoke damage. Assistant Fire Marshal Tommy Gregory said the fire caused an estimated $50,000 in damage. Caution tape restricts access to the building as UNC police continue to investigate what caused the fire. The City of Love is more accessible to North Carolinians now through the Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Delta flights to Paris depart on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays through Sundays at 6:20 p.m. and land in Paris the next morning about 8:30. There hasn't been nonstop service from North Carolina to Paris since 1994.
The presidential election is behind us, so what do college Republicans have to say about Obama's historic win, and what do they think the next 4 years will bring? Garrett Barogin has a story.
Derek Belcher saw presidential candidate John McCain's chances slip through his fingers on election night. Unfortunately for him, the hard-fought race ended in Obama's favor. Belcher is the chairman of the UNC College Republicans. He says he supports bipartisanship with the new president when working on key issues, but to an extent.
I'm all about working across party lines and working together as long as we don't compromise our values. I wouldn't be one to sacrifice things I believe in, but as long as you're not doing that, I think it's great.
But Secretary of UNCCR Taylor Holgate says conservatives will have little say once President-elect Obama takes office.
It's a historic moment, and obviously we're proud of America. We're proud of how far America has come in electing Barack Obama, but in the end, we still aren't going to like his policies.
Belcher and Holgate would like to see former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney or Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal as a 2012 party nominee. And Belcher is thinking about how he'll contribute to the next Republican nominee's 2012 campaign.
Volunteer, make phone calls, knock on doors, get groups of students organized, bring in speakers to advocate for what we believe in.
Belcher says it's difficult to be a Republican in a liberal place like Chapel Hill, but it's helped him learn how to fight hard for what he believes in. In Chapel Hill, I'm Garrett Barogin, Carolina Week.
As for Holgate, she'd like to help a future candidate by donating money to his or her campaign in 2012.
The rivalry between Duke and Carolina isn't always about basketball and now football. This year it's about who has the better commencement speaker. On May 10th, both Desmond Tutu and Oprah Winfrey will step up to the podium as graduation speakers. And although there's a bit of jealousy that Duke has Oprah, it seems we have a pretty good speaker ourselves. Desmond Tutu, the history-making activist from South Africa. It's clear students on campus have varying opinions regarding which one is the better choice.
I think Duke probably got the better speaker. I've heard of Desmond Tutu before, but I honestly don't really know who he is. And Oprah is such a prominent world figure and a role model for women.
Well, I think it would be really exciting to meet Oprah. I feel that Desmond Tutu has more global experience and more global perspective. And I really feel that UNC has made the better choice.
Chancellor Holden Thorpe said having Desmond Tutu speak at Carolina's commencement will be a slam dunk for the UNC graduates.
In memory of former student body president Eve Carson, UNC will organize a tour of Cocoa Arboretum each fall. The first tour took place on Sunday afternoon. Participants could admire the pageant of fall colors and pick up leaves to compare the shades among species. North Carolina Botanical Garden Director Peter White says the Arboretum on a Fall Day event comes from a quote by Eve Carson. Just before she died, she mentioned the Arboretum as one of the reasons she loved UNC.
So it gave us the inspiration to make sure that every fall we hold a tour to talk about the Arboretum on a fall day that so impressed her that it was one of the places she most loved.
UNC also decided to build a garden on campus. It too is in memory of Eve Carson. Architects are currently working on the project. Well, Carolina ranks high in various sports polls and academic rankings.
Coming up, see how UNC ranks in healthy college sexuality.
Is bad air quality ruining your day? Check the Outdoor Air Quality Index before leaving home to avoid the aggravations of smog. For more information about asthma and air quality, check online or call your local health department.
Los peces del lago Crabtree y Briar Creek contienen productos químicos llamados PCB que son muy peligrosos para tu salud. Por eso, cada vez que pesques, siempre devuelve los peces al lago. No te olvides. Para más aclaración, llama a la línea de información y referencia al siguiente número o visita la siguiente página. Gracias.
Want to start a business? Have concerns about state regulations? Need information fast? Don't fret, the North Carolina Business Service Center is here for you. When you've got questions about business, we've got the answers that mean business. Pick up the phone and dial the Business Service Center. Call 1-800-228-8443.
UNC provides students recreation centers to keep everyone physically healthy. Jonathan Lyons tells us what the university does to promote sexual health.
Sexually active couples on campus, listen up. According to Trojan Brand Condom's third annual Sexual Health Report Card, UNC ranks 27th in the nation. Topping the list is Stanford University. Columbia, Cornell, Iowa, and the University of Denver round out the top 5. Compared to other North Carolina schools, UNC ranks well. Some factors used in determining the rankings include the amount of sexual health information provided on campus, the availability of contraceptives on campus, and students' knowledge about their use. Proper condom use is an essential way to promote sexual health, and it's as easy as these few steps. First, look on the back of the condom and make sure the expiration date is still good. Next, carefully tear the packaging open so that you don't rip the condom itself. Then, position the condom properly on top of the penis, pinch the tip, and roll it down. These few steps could save your life. The ranking also depends on students' willingness to get tested for HIV.
They're going to stick a paper tab in your mouth and swab around a little bit, get a little bit of saliva, and then tell you to wait about 10, 20 minutes until the results come.
Patrice Wright of UNC's Wellness Center says getting tested and open communication about sex are important aspects of sexual health.
Our goal is to make it normalized, and when we make it normalized, it makes it more comfortable and more conducive for people to come in and get tested.
Good sexual health also depends on being smart behind closed doors. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jonathan Lyons, Carolina Week.
One thing the university can do to move up the list is making sex a topic of conversation in the classroom instead of a taboo subject. 'Tis the season to promote good health. Kohl's showed its support for children's health care on Friday. The clothing chain gave $54,000 to UNC's Children's Hospital. The hospital also invited its little patients to a drawing party. There were lots of big smiles and bright colors. Children colored with UNC football players who also came out to support the cause.
We all know a friend in need is a friend indeed, and one alum found that out in a personal way. Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity brothers from the class of 1977 met Friday night at Time Out Restaurant for a night full of good food and cold drinks. They also gathered to lend a helping hand to their fraternity brother.
And if I could, I'd like to ask Jeff Gorski to come forward.
The Piker brothers donated money to Jeff and his family. His wife became a paraplegic after a car accident.
I haven't looked at the check. If it's a penny, it's the love and the appreciation and the sentiment of all my fraternity brothers and their significant others. That means more to me than anything.
Jeff was probably shocked to find out when he finally looked at the check. The brothers raised about $7,000 for the Gorski family. Well, the 12 days of Christmas are more than a month away, but you'd never know it by looking at some local stores.
I'm going to eat some candy canes. I'm going to eat some chocolate chips.
Retailers already have their decorations out as consumers count down their shopping days. Radio stations have sounds of the season playing too. But with Thanksgiving not even here yet, some Grinches feel it's too early for the Christmas spirit, while others enjoy having the holiday feeling around longer.
Especially with the economy the way it is, I can understand why businesses want to start early, and I don't see why the general public can't either, because it's a season of good feelings and hope, which is something everybody needs right now.
Although holiday cheer is in the air, the state of the economy might put a damper on the buying spirit. Retailers are already offering all sorts of deals to get shoppers to the malls.
When you're in the mall, here's a gift idea. Activision and Red Octane have released the newest version of their popular Guitar Hero series with some cool additions. Guitar Hero World Tour is bringing the full band experience to players with the inclusion of drums, vocals, and improved bass play. With a larger whammy bar and strum bar and the new touchpad features, this game is likely to be a hot commodity this Christmas. Well, guys, I've only played Guitar Hero a couple of times, but it sure is fun.
Yeah, it's totally addicting. I think I'm going to put it at the top of my Christmas wish list.
Right, and we're hearing about all these great gift ideas and holiday decorations, and the weather is starting to be around the holiday temperatures, right?
That's right, those wintry temperatures might be closer than you think. Coming up, I'll tell you about the falling raindrops in our forecast. That might be a surprise because if you're walking or toddling around campus today, all you had to worry about was falling leaves. Weather is next.
Hear that? How could I not? They can't be serious. This is their third party this week and I have a test tomorrow.
Yeah, and they blocked me in. Again! Let's party!
It's about time you guys.
Anything left in here?
I bet they're gonna leave their garbage out again. They do this every time when they have friends over.
It's important to be considerate of others who live close to you. You wouldn't want neighbors like these. Make sure to control your garbage, obey Chapel Hill noise ordinances, park only in your driveway or other designated areas, obey all alcohol laws, and remember, we're all living in this community together, so be a good neighbor.
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please help give them a time to remember.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm forecaster Corey Davis. And if you enjoyed the warm weather this weekend, then I have some not so good news for you. We have been cooling down to start your work week so far, and it looks like that's a trend that will continue through most of this week. However, we have been enjoying clear skies so far today. It looks like those clear skies will also stick around for at least a few days, but they might get interrupted by some midweek rain. And if we look at the national satellite map, you'll see that that rain really isn't too far away. Right now it's turning across the Midwest here, bringing some rain and even storms to parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. But right now here in the southeast, we're staying clear, and if we look at the Carolinas map, you'll see really you could drive from Manteo to Murphy today without even seeing much more than a high cloud in the sky. And when we see a map that's this blank, it's a good sign that we're staying clear now and will be clear for a little while to come. And if we look at the surface map, you'll see that is indeed the case. That's because we have a high pressure system out to our west. Now, because of the clockwise rotation of the winds around this high, we'll have a cool northerly wind. That's what's bringing us those slightly cooler temperatures today. And out toward the Midwest, this low pressure system is right now across Oklahoma, and as we move into Tuesday, this system will shift a little bit further to the east. We're not expecting any rain from this system until maybe Wednesday afternoon at the earliest, but then that rain might last through Thursday and even on into Friday. Now, we don't want to forget about our little low-pressure friend down here at the bottom of the screen. This is our friend Paloma. Well, at least she's a friend to us weathermen. Probably not a friend of the folks in Cuba because Paloma moved through there as a powerful Category 4 hurricane late last weekend. Right now, not much to this system, really. Would you believe me if I told you the center of circulation is down here? Well, it is, but all the rain and clouds have been sheared off to the east from this system. Not much left in the way of it, so it looks like I'll be saying bye to my friend Paloma. Let's look at your forecast for tonight. Here's that touch of winter I talked about. Temperatures near freezing across the triangle tonight. And that's because with mostly clear skies, there won't be any clouds in to help trap the heat. So really cool weather tonight. You might even need to break out that heavy coat as we move through the day tomorrow. Happy Veterans Day to you all. If you're headed to a Veterans Day ceremony, keep a jacket handy because temperatures will be in only the upper 50s across the triangle with sunny skies once again. And here's a look at your 4-day forecast. Again, we're staying clear at least for the next day or so. By Wednesday, those clouds will be moving in association with that low pressure, and Thursday and Friday looks like rain is the story. Our temperatures, though, will be staying in the 60s for a while, and we will have a slight warmer by the end of this week, but at least the lows will be a little bit higher, so you might only need that jacket. Looks like you will need the umbrella, though.
All right, well, thanks so much, Corey. Thanks. We have some incredible music talent on this campus. The UNC Loreleis attracted a full house to their Friday night performance. This famous a cappella group consisting of 16 female undergraduates sang in the new season with their fall concert. The girls' playful demeanor and strong stage presence drew an enthusiastic response from the audience. Guest singers UNC Accordance and Tar Heel Voices also tore up the stage. The Loreleis performed with 3 different guest groups on Saturday.
Homecoming weekend isn't complete without Carolina naming new royalty.
2008 homecoming queen is
Seniors Jeremy Crowdhamel and Meredith Martindale are your new king and queen. The nominees met on the football field at halftime of the UNC Georgia Tech game. Only one other candidate contested the position for king, while 3 additional candidates challenged Martindale for the queen's crown. So, and I'm wondering why you didn't run for homecoming queen. King.
Queen, come on now, please. I think maybe because the guy that won, isn't he a male cheerleader? I think I have the broad shoulders, but I don't know if I have the muscles to be able to hold up.
Oh, looks like you do.
I would have voted for you.
I would have too.
Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Coming up, Georgia Tech tried flying through Carolina's defense, but the Heels told the Yellow Jackets, buzz off.
Throughout my career as a coach, I've lived by the simple axiom that behind every individual success story is a team. The success of Durham Public Schools does not depend on one of us, but all of us. Through community involvement and support, we can take a giant step in helping our children achieve their hopes and dreams. You're going to walk with me, and I'm going to help you to be that great soccer player.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Wow! Look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
The football team faced Georgia Tech on Saturday. One team fell, one team improved its record, and one player even broke a record. And the Heels came away with their 7th win. That matches the combined win total of the 2 previous seasons. David Berngart has the story.
Tar Heel fans packed the house at Kenan to view the homecoming matchup against number 20 Georgia Tech. The Heels found success running the ball, including this 36-yard Sean Drawn scamper on the first drive. Coach Davis said a strong running game was essential for the Heels.
We talked offensively all week long that we needed to be able to run the football. We needed to have some time of possession.
The Heels' first drive ended with Cam Sexton finding Zach Pianalto, who put his body on the line as he stretched out for 6 points, but unfortunately fractured his fibula and will likely miss the rest of the season. The defense also quickly established itself, not allowing Georgia Tech's much vaunted running game to get any traction. Davis said the defensive line deserves a lot of credit for their play.
I was very, very pleased with our defense from the standpoint that there's some unsung heroes. The defensive linemen, their ability to gobble up blocks and to hold the line of scrimmage and to be consistent was a big key to it.
The momentum shifted permanently in the Heels' favor when Tech returner Roddy Jones couldn't handle this punt in the third quarter. The turnover led to this touchdown for Ryan Houston, who had 2 touchdowns and a career-high 74 yards.
So I always, I come in fresh, full of energy, and I run hard, so that makes it hard for the defense to tackle me.
The Keemnicks also had a big day as he broke the UNC all-time receiving yards record on this catch.
Coach Davis put me back in there and said, just throw him a hitch, and that's when I took it up the sideline.
Nick's performance helped ruin the day for some Georgia Tech fans, but he and the whole team hope victory is all the Heels will taste to close the season. In Chapel Hill, I'm David Berngart, Carolina Week Sports.
With Saturday's win, many Carolina fans are excited about the team's chances of making it to the ACC championship game. The road to Tampa won't be an easy one for the Heels. Carolina travels this weekend to face a tough Maryland squad before closing out the regular season against rivals NC State and Duke. Even if the Heels win out, they'd still need some help to make it to Tampa. Virginia Tech owns the head-to-head tiebreaker against Carolina and must lose at least one more game for the Heels to make it to the title game. Tech's remaining games are against Miami, Duke, and Virginia. Coach Davis says the Heels are improving steadily.
As a coach, you always hope that the last game, whenever that last game is the best game that you played the entire season, which means that hopefully, incrementally, as the season goes along, 12 weeks in a row, you get a little bit better every week, and hopefully we're doing that.
And basketball season is officially here. The men's team had its first exhibition game Saturday night, and they're looking pretty good without Tyler Hansbrough. This was the first time he's missed a game in his entire career. Some things never changed, though. Danny Green might have started, but he's still dancing. And Bobby Fraser is back with a 3. And Ty Lawson is better than ever with steals, dunks, and even an improved outside jumper. He had 14 points on the night. 6 players were in double figures, including freshman Ed Davis and Tyler Zeller. Even Ramesses and the homecoming king made it out to the game. And the women's basketball team finished its preseason Friday night against a team of recent college graduates. The premier players had no answers for the Tar Heels, taking a 99-69 beating. Shea Shagog was nasty in the paint, dropping 2 of her 10 points here. Satara DeGraffenried's quick hands led to 3 steals and this breakaway layup. The freshmen were on display all night, with Laura Broomfield contributing this turnaround jumper. Shagog again making her presence felt here. Expect to see more of this on Friday night when the Heels host Western Carolina. And if you attended any of those sporting events, you might have missed these. The women's soccer team won its 19th ACC championship against Virginia Tech with a 3-0 shutout. And the Hokies also felt the Tar Heel wrath in volleyball. The Heels swept Tech for their 6th straight victory. And the swimming and diving team also swept the weekend with wins against Maryland and George Mason. Vincent Ramirez led the wrestling team at the Wolfpack Invitational, and 5 other Carolina wrestlers finished in the top 3. So you really think homecoming queen for me? I mean,
I slipped up. No. I mean, you're very attractive, but I certainly was thinking king. I'm sorry, my bad. Well, coming up, some Christmas delights.
I bet you'll be craving some Christmas delights after you hear about these delicious nutty, yes, nutty, fruitcakes.
No matter where you live, life in the ocean depends on you to help protect our ocean. Recycle and dispose of your trash properly. To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Receiving a fruitcake is a Christmas tradition, but the likelihood of actually eating the gift is pretty slim. Unless, of course, it's a Southern Supreme fruitcake, which Hillary Schrantz tells us is a treat that even fruitcake haters can't resist.
Out in Bear Creek, North Carolina, you'll find an international sensation tucked away on an old country road. Take one step inside and it feels like you've entered into a winter wonderland of delectable goodies, tantalizing aromas, and friendly faces. But these fruitcakes haven't always been the rave. Bertaloo Scott says her fabulous fruitcakes had humble beginnings.
Started in my daughter's garage. I said, let's start in your garage, because I had the beauty shop in mine. And she said, sure, Mom, whatever.
5 years and numerous craft shows later, the Scotts moved their business to its current location. Wear comfortable shoes because a tour guide will be ready and waiting as soon as you walk in the door. First stop, prepare yourself for a variety of desserts, from macaroons and chocolate turtles to fruitcake cookies. They taste like fruitcakes but have a different texture. Next, you'll stop briefly to soak in the art of baking and breaking homemade peanut brittle. Finally, after much anticipation, you reach the Fruitcake Kitchen. These folks send 200,000 pounds of fruitcake to destinations as far as China each year.
So I'm standing in the Fruitcake Kitchen, and the fruitcake has just come out of the oven. Now there's only a few short steps before it's ready to go. First, you have to pick it out of this big bowl, and you have to weigh it. Once you see that it weighs 2 pounds, you're ready to go to the next step. You squeeze it, and you send it across the table. Once across the table, it's shaped. After it's shaped, it's sent to a cooler and cooled, and then you bring it back, give it a nice glaze, and then it's packed and sent away.
A tasting bar allows each customer to try products from hot pepper jelly to, of course, fruitcake. And trust me, it's better than any fruitcake you've ever had before. In Bear Creek, I'm Hillary Schrantz, Carolina Week.
Well, I have to admit, I used to hate fruitcake, but we got to try some of it earlier, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was, and like Bethany was saying earlier, it also tastes really nutty, kind of like us, especially me today.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, you are what you eat.
It's true.
That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.